The Auto Pro Trader manual trade ticket stop loss functions serves a lot of purposes, and there's a lot to this specific feature. So let's get started and go through each item. If I go to my options window, again that's right down here in options, left click on it, go to manual trade management, and we're going to go to the stops function. A lot of things come up here. Let's go down one by one. Break even offset. If you're using a break even trigger, that's the offset that you would like to have. You can also use a negative number on this. So for example, if I've got a break-even trigger, when I get to the number 20 ticks in the positive, say for example, then I want to have my stop loss move from wherever it initially was set at. In this case it's 100, but let's make that more realistic. Let's say a 30 tick stop. So when I'm up 20 ticks, I want to move my initial stop loss from 30 ticks to break even plus or minus the number of the break even offset. So if that's set at 5, for example. So what's going to happen is, let's say I entered at a price of 76 even. Okay. Then when I am at 76.20, I'm going to move my stop loss to 76.05. Break even plus that offset. All right. And that's how that works. Okay, so whatever that initial stop loss is, once you hit the break-even trigger, it'll move it to the break-even plus or minus whatever your break-even offset is. All right, reversal bar exit. This is an exit system within itself, a complete exit system, and it depends on the bar type you're using. Let's say that you want to catch a run in the market. And here's a good example right here. Market's running down, 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 down. You want to just get out at the next reversal bar. As soon as that bar closes up right there, you would exit that trade. So that's your reversal bar exit. You can use that by itself, depending on the bar type, as a stop loss, and we do that quite often in a room. All right. Next one, so we've just went through the break even trigger. Initial stop loss, of course, is your initial stop loss once you enter the trade. Break even offset, break even trigger, and reversal bar exit. Now, the next series of buttons all have to do with trailing stops. First of all, you have to enable the trailing stop. It's got to be on true. And remember, everything works immediately. So once you turn that on and you click OK, that trailing stop is on. You do not need to click the apply button. Let's go back to options again. Manual trade ticket, stops. Now under the trailing stop there's a trigger 1, trigger 1 trail ticks, trigger 2 trail ticks, trigger 3 trail ticks. That's each individual trailing stop that you want to trail by. So say for example, when I'm up 20 ticks, I want to trail by 20 ticks. Now you may say, well, what's going to override, the break-even offset or my 20 tick trail? Well, that's a great question. The break-even offset will override. Okay, so if you want to make these, you may want to adjust this out just a little bit so it doesn't interfere with this. Say for example, let's go trigger 1 once I hit 25, then I want to trail by 20. Then it's out of the way of your break-even stop. It's no big deal. But the break-even stop will override. Trigger 2, now once I get to 40 ticks, I want to cut my trailing down from 20 to 15. So once I'm 40 ticks in profit, my stop loss is going to trail 15 ticks behind me until trigger 3 is hit. Now I've got that set at 60. Once I'm 60 ticks in profit, my trigger 3 trail ticks is going to trail by 10 ticks. Okay? So let's watch this play out on the chart a little bit just to see how this works. We're going to start our replay mode. I'm going to start this on 1. We'll speed it up in a minute. I'm going to buy at market. So I'm long now. We know that we have our stop loss. Initial stop loss is 30 ticks. We gave it plenty of room. We're going to break even at 20, go to 5, but don't forget, now I've got my trigger 1 at 25, so that's going to be a very subtle, quick move there. You may not even see the difference. We'll see it pull to break even, then real quick, if it gets that extra 5 ticks, start trailing by that 20. There's your initial stop loss, by the way. All right, now you saw this pull up. There's my trail. All right, so I've hit that first target and we triggered that thing up and it's trailing us. Okay. Now this is trailing by 20 ticks. It's the first one. And how you know that, you may say, well, Jim, you're only a few ticks off of the start. Yes, remember, it's trailing the price. So our high price was up at 76.34. The price of the market and the trailing stop is 76.14. That's a 20 tick trailing stop. Now I didn't run this any further, so let's just run this out for a minute. Let's see where it goes. It may come back and take me out. It may go a little bit further. I don't know. All right, there we go. Let's pause it for a minute. Now you can see that trailing stop just pulled up again as we hit the second trigger of 40 ticks. Now the top of this market was at 76.51 and 76.36 is the new trailing stop. That's trail trigger number 2 with a trail ticks of 15 ticks. Let's see where it goes again. And again, we're probably going to get taken out on this one's my guess. And there you go. So that's an immediate out in this case because you were trailing with it on the chart. It does not have to wait for the bar close. And that's a way, when we talked about the parabolic SAR in the last video, that has to wait until the bar close. In this case it doesn't, because we're using a function that allows us to trail with that flag up the chart. All right, I don't know any other automated system that actually does this. Most of them have to wait for bar close. So this is a way that you guys can utilize your trailing stops. And this is a great feature, guys. It mimics in full automated mode what the ATM does with NinjaTrader. All right.